Never really know for sure when it's actually live. It says live on YouTube. Then we are starting the podcast in 2019, 18, now.
The Love Gurus podcast is starting now. The Love Gurus are comics that bring comedic wisdom to the savages asking bizarre relationship questions on the internet. Your hosts are Suzanne Leah Shepherd and Jake Vevera. I am the Love Gurus' pet robot, Cassandra. I love you.
Oh, goddammit, I love you too, Cassandra. Greatest robot in the history of machines or podcast intros. We are doing another Zoom, another quarantine episode. Suzanne, how's quarantine treating you?
Just great. I'm a little phlegmy today, but you know what? That's great. Something is better than nothing in lockdown. So a little phlegm, mixes the day up. Reminds me that it's Thursday. So
yeah, that's true. Something is better than nothing in lockup is like the saddest Maya Angelou poem if she was alive for COVID. You know what I mean? She'd just be writing, I went from my bed to my living room, and I sat, and I pondered about what the hell I was going to do tomorrow. And then I realized something. Hopefully something.
I feel like Maya Angelou is going to make our Zoom podcast crash now. She's like, nope.
You think Maya Angelou's been alive this whole time and she's secretly running big tech companies and stuff out in Silicon Valley?
Shut up. How amazing would that be?
Just tell them I am dead. There is no money in the written word anymore. I am going to start software companies.
Someone sees her and Mark Zuckerberg out to lunch and it's like, okay.
Mark Zuckerberg, are you eating lunch with the ghost of Maya Angelou? And then they both just disappear in a cloud of smoke. Yeah. But no, I'm excited about our two guests today, man. First up, returning guest, hilarious stand-up comic, Meg Mark. Thank you for being on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. And looking forward to our second guest, first-time guest on the podcast. Actually has a podcast with an amazing name called The Stout Lusty Wench. Christina Jackson, welcome to the show.
Hey, Jake, it's Christiana.
Oh, shit. Christiana.
I've known you since you came to New York to do comedy, and you're like, names don't matter.
I had to read it off the little YouTube thing, and I have it minimized so I can play other stuff.
Yeah, but you know me.
Yeah,
I do.
You know her name.
It's you know what it is? It's quarantine's eating my brain away. I have no goddamn idea. I knew it was Christiana. I knew that too. I went with Christina. I just got it wrong as I was reading it live. No idea why.
Is that what are you drinking actually? What is that?
I'm gonna blame the wine on that. Yeah, absolutely. This is the fifth unofficial member of each episode. The wine that I'm drinking. I'm going with Barano Montalto. See, I'm not good at reading fucking names.
You can't read. That's the problem. It's not personal.
Not your name. Because Jake's from Iowa, I'm from Kansas. It's the public education system in the Midwest.
Dude, my mom couldn't stay sober for 9 months, and now I fuck up wine labels on podcasts while I get drunk. That's what happens, 36 years after that bad choice.
So happy to be here.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Happy to have you guys here, man. Without further ado, are you ready to take your first question?
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Right. First question from the Maniacs on Yahoo Answers. If you guys have any questions to write into the podcast, write them to loveguruspodcast at yahoo.com. In the meantime, we are going to take one from the Maniacs on Yahoo Answers.
Okay, so let me preface this by saying that this question was actually going to be later on in the podcast, but given the intro, I felt like it was necessary to bump it up in the order. First question, how important is your name? I'm a 42-year-old woman, and I've been seeing a man who's 45 for a couple of months now. We click very naturally, and I feel at ease around him. However, I'm finding myself deeply disturbed by something that I need an outside opinion about. He's called me by the wrong name, not once or twice.
This is the perfect question for this episode.
I feel like it shows he just doesn't care, and I'm not all that important if he can't get something as simple as my name right. Our names are what we identify with deeply as individuals, and it seems like a complete lack of respect. Like,
are you making this up? Are you making this up to troll me? Oh my God.
Maya Angelou came through. She was like, listen. Okay. He's not calling me by an ex's name or anything like that. It's more along the lines of, my name is Jessica, and he keeps calling me Jennifer.
Wow.
We talked about this, and that how it's not my actual name. We talked it over the first time that it happened, and it was very clear that it made me uncomfortable that my name is not common. So because I guess like those were, her name's not really Jessica or Jennifer. And we certainly didn't need to keep revisiting it, and we decided to move forward. Getting someone's name wrong just seems so basic. So my question is, how important is your name? So
let me just say, Jennifer to Jessica's a big one. It's not a small one like I did. This guy's, I'm not like this animal. I'm not like this guy.
Yeah, so again, so to give a quick recap. So she's 42, he's 45, and 3 times he's just called her by the wrong name. He's just in the kitchen, instead of Stephanie, he said Stacy, or something where it's clear it's kind of the same, but it's definitely not her name. And it's not an ex's name. It's not like it's his daughter's name. He's just straight up calling her the wrong name. So I don't know. I mean, how do you guys feel about this question? Like, would this be a
Christiana, how bad did it piss you off when I did it like 2 minutes ago?
Oh no, it didn't piss me off. I was just like, how unfortunate. I'd like to answer the question with a question for her. How good is that dick that she's still with this man?
Because she has to be in it for something else. Like, there's something else about this man that's really drawing her, because if it was someone that you were kind of on the fence with, this is such an easy, straw to break the camel's back reason to be like, it can work out.
Yeah. Also, as a fuckboy myself, that's why I don't call people by their names. Everybody's Poppy. Everyone's Poppy. It doesn't matter, even if you're not Latino, everybody's Poppy. Because, I don't know. Actually, I hooked up with someone. I told my friend, I was like, oh my God, I banged a dude between Zoom shows. She goes, really? What was his name? And I was like, yo, fuck you, Ashlyn. You think I know? I don't remember. It was a busy day. I had Zoom shows and banged a dude. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Like, you don't know him. We're in a different country. Why are you even asking me? Names are hard to remember when you're a fuckboy. So I think this guy is a fuckboy, which is also probably why he's got good enough dick to keep her around.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly a case. Meg, do you think that he's maybe seeing someone on the side, and so that's why he's calling her the wrong name?
Okay, I don't have enough information to make that judgment call. I will say,
some details.
I was once called twice, actually. My now husband called me by his ex-wife's name, and that is bad.
That's bad. If it's their name, that's bad. That's like muscle memory. Like, she did something she did, and he was like, stop it, Melissa.
Right. So I just want to know, like, what is it about her that reminds him of a Jennifer, instead of a Jessica? Like, they are different names. But at the same time, like, if you're not correcting that immediately, like, maybe they just deserve each other.
It's you've made your bed, now you lie in it, Jamaica. What else? But I think also
she's just calling her. He's calling her random things with J that aren't even names.
Yeah.
Hello, jackets. Like, what? No.
Straight jacket. I think also the other thing that played. So she's specific in saying that she's 42, he's 45. I think that in a relationship, if those ages were 72 and 75, no one would care. No one would care. I don't care if you call me Eleanor. Like, just, I am not alone.
Well, at 74 and 75, you can shit your pants during a dinner date, and it's kind of acceptable.
Yeah.
Word.
Though, in your early 40s is a rough time. You're like, okay, like, they're not in the psych ward. They just sometimes forget my name. Like, I'm still single. Can we make it work? And
but
like,
Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, but it's like too old to ask. I mean, what are you, 13? What are you, like 16? Like, you're a 42-year-old woman and you're dating a man who doesn't know your name? Come on, man. Get it together. Have some respect for yourself.
Yeah.
That's what makes it hard to be single. Women like her that don't put up with bullshit. And then when you try to have standards, like, hey, remember my name? He's like, whatever, I'll go fuck somebody else who doesn't care.
Somebody doesn't care.
My
Oh,
girlfriend's
seriously.
too goddamn high maintenance. She demands that I get her by the correct name every time.
Yeah. But here's a question though. This has happened to me. Like, I mean, I can't even count how many times this has happened to me, where I've met someone and I never in a million years thought that I would meet that person again. And so I didn't really take note of the person's name. However, I totally did. And then it was like, hey, like, what's this person's name? So there's a friend of ours. You guys probably know him. His name is Corey Smith. I got introduced to him a couple times, but I didn't think he lived in New York. He was at a show that I was producing, and I was short a comic, and so I needed an extra comic, and so I did the classic. I was like, oh, Corey, like, do you want to go up and do some time? He's like, of course. I was like, okay, like, just can you let me know how you spell your last name so I pronounce it correctly? He's like, S-M-I.
That was like me before this podcast. I asked Christiana, I was like, do you got anything you want to plug? I wrote down the name of the, and I was like, great, I got this.
Her real name. She'd like you to plug her real name.
It helps.
I'm such an asshole, just like the guy in this question. And when you introduced Corey or Cody or Ken or Connie or whatever.
But here's my question. But am I alone in that? Or has anyone else been in that situation where you've met someone and you just didn't remember their name and you kind of got stuck in a tough spot? Like, or am I alone?
I did not have that excuse with Christiana. Me and Christiana have done 1,000 shows together. I've introduced her on stage over a dozen times. I mean, dozens at least. And I don't know. It's been so long since I did stand-up or anything.
It's tricky when you have an extra vowel, but I think it's happened to everybody. It's happened to me where I've forgotten someone's name, like hosting. There's so much information. This is why I was like, whatever. But I just didn't want you to keep calling me Christina. Then it would have been awkward. Yeah. But like, it's happened to me where I know it's a friend and I'll blank on their name.
How funny would it have been if you let me keep calling you Christina the entire podcast, and then as we're doing the outro, and I'm like, look up Christina Jackson. You were like, hold on now. By the way, you've been calling me the wrong name the whole goddamn hour.
But so not only had an example of the story of Corey, but also sometimes people will say their name like right when you first meet them, right when you're kind of like not paying attention. Yeah. And then then that person's name doesn't get repeated. And then you know them for too long to be like, yeah, what's your name again? I know that you're at my house for dinner, but I don't know who you are.
So my name is Jake. My fiance will occasionally call me Jack because that's her cat's name. Yeah. Oh. I will sometimes get a Jack, especially if she's angry at me. You know what I mean? Really, if tensions are high and she's really just Jake, or sometimes if she's mad at the cat, if he just bit her for no goddamn reason, because cats will do that, she'll yell at him and call him Jake. So it just completely throws her off.
Look, this day and age with social media, there is no excuse for not knowing someone's name if you have been inside of them, period.
That's very true. I had a guy, he thought my name was Michelle.
Oh.
It was a weird, it was like we would hook up and then not hook up because we piss each other off because we were fire sign, water sign, bad combo. So anyway, then we were hanging out and he had sent me a message, like a text, where he called me Michelle and he was saying happy birthday, but I was like, oh, he just copy pasted this from some other bitch he was fucking. And then we didn't talk for a while. Then we hung out again. And then he called me Michelle to my face. And I was like, my name's not Michelle. And he's like, no, your name's Michelle. And I was like, my name has never been Michelle. Where did you get that from? Yeah, but his dick was great. So we just talked it out. And then also, I thought he was shorter than he was. It was a weird day. I was like, you're not actually 5'7". He's like, yes, I am. I'm like, no, you're not. Let's stand next to each other in the mirror. And then he was taller than me. And I was like, when did that happen? You're not that tall. But so we both didn't know enough about each other, except that the sex was amazing.
There you go. Names and height aren't as important as long as the sex is good. Absolutely.
Yeah.
A dick by any other name would feel as sweet. I mean, is that the moral of the story here?
Well, it was weird, actually. There was a phase where a bunch of people thought my name was Michelle. I don't understand why. It was during the Obama years, but still, like, we don't look alike.
Yeah, well, and also it's not like your name starts with an M. It's not.
Yeah, it's not even close.
It doesn't rhyme. I don't know if there's like an alter ego or something. I mean, that's the only. But yeah, it's just that's such a funny thing. I get Stephanie a lot because my name is Suzanne.
Not even close.
Yeah. So, but there's something about maybe my annoying voice. People are like, Stephanie, shut up.
I will get one that's not even close to Jake from a lot of people that have maybe met me like a couple times, even though it's Jake, which starts with a J. Sometimes they will call me Chubby Balding Steve Buscemi. And I'm like, that's not, it's Jake. It's like one syllable. Come on.
It just rolls off the tongue as well. Chubby Balding Steve Buscemi. I can't stop saying it.
Right. Neither can anyone else. And I'm like, no, you're confused again,
But yeah, so going back to this question, her question is, how important is your name? And so my advice to her is like, look, you've already put up with it 3 times. Now you need to draw a line in the sand. Either you're going to be okay with it or you're not. And as we pointed out, it sounds like she's just kind of happy to be in a relationship with this guy. So yeah, I think, listen, as Meg said, you've made your bed, now lie in it, you fucking Jessica. Like just does anyone else have any final advice for this lady, whoever she is?
Backbone, god damn.
Try calling him another name in bed and then sort it out from there.
Oh, that's a great, so if
I hope she doesn't get murdered though. That could get you murdered. Who the fuck is Red? Yeah.
Wait, here's what's a hilarious thought is the cops come to his house, right? And are like, sir, have you seen Jennifer? He's like, I don't even know who Jennifer is. There's like a picture of him behind him. He's like, I don't know who that is.
Sometimes I bet my fiance will call me literally anyone who's not Jake. She'll just refer to me that over and over again. Literally anyone who's not Jake. Literally anyone who's not Jake. And I'm like, that's not my name. Come on, stop it. Stop chasing.
Well, amazing.
No, I think she should either A, grow a backbone, B, call him by another name, or C, keep getting called Jessica, right? Keep getting called Jessica like for a long time. This is the long game. This is the rope-a-dope. This is tucking the arms in and leaning back on the ropes for about 8 rounds. Okay. This is going to take some time, some groundwork. You're going to be Jessica to this guy for a while, and then you're going to go meet up with some friends of yours. You're going to bring him along and they're going to start just calling you Jennifer or whatever. And he's going to be like, what the fuck? And then you're going to start speaking in Russian accents a little bit, but like pretending to slip up. Yes. So this is a very interesting restaurant. I mean, I like this place. Do they have brunch? Do they have a brunch, man? And you just keep doing fake Russian accents, make them think you're a spy.
Yeah, that's a great idea. When in doubt, make them think you're a spy.
Yeah.
Works every time.
That is a long con, man. Holy shit. They might break up before that.
Yeah. But yeah.
Hopefully the dick's good enough to keep you there, because this is going to take a good 5 months of planning ahead.
Well, amazing. Well, I think we answered that question.
Absolutely. Next question on the Love Gurus podcast. We're taking your questions at loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com or write us questions on YouTube live. If you want to write into the show, write it. But for now, we're going to take yet another one from the crazy maniacs on Yahoo Answers.
Next question. My girlfriend's mom called me ugly. Any tips on how to bring this up with my girlfriend?
Oh, that's way worse than Jessica.
Basically, my girlfriend was on the phone on speaker, and I heard her say, sorry, I'm messing this up. Okay, the mom was on the phone with my girlfriend on loudspeaker, and I heard her saying, "Are you with the ugly boy?" in a really aggressive manner.
I love her mother. She's hilarious.
My girlfriend told her that she's on loudspeaker, and I heard, and she laughed and said that she was just joking, dear, to me, but she clearly wasn't. Any tips on how to bring this up? My girlfriend just acted like it never happened. Also, her mother was really clingy to her daughter and also hated her other ex before me. She also said that if she wasn't with me, she would set her up with a different guy from her work. Like I'm not good enough. How do I bring this up with my girlfriend?
No one knows what it's like to have eyeballs too close together and a huge forehead.
I don't know if my dad has ever called. I've never heard him say any of my boyfriends were ugly, like, to my face. But I think that, you know, if you're going to slag off someone's partner, like, it's after they break up. I mean, is that, like, you know, like, I've definitely had friends where they dated someone and then it didn't work out for whatever reason. Not in a bad way. They just kind of broke up, and it's like, oh, good, because he was really punching above his weight. He was kind of ugly. And then it's like, but you don't say that when they are still dating. But obviously the mom didn't know that he was listening.
I mean, my mom is never concerned if they're ugly or not. She's like, how much money do they have?
I know. It's a priority.
You know?
Mom.
And I love about this guy. He didn't even try to fight the being ugly thing. He didn't even go, listen, people don't really call me ugly that often. I think I'm a pretty decent looking guy.
He's denying it.
Yeah. He was just like, listen, I mean, I know it. She knows it. I know that she knows it. That bitch didn't have to say it to her daughter on speakerphone. I love that. I love that.
Too. He knows he's a two.
Yeah, that's like what I was thinking. Like, it's like, if you're ugly, you should just be happy somebody's with you.
Yeah.
Period. That's it. If you are an ugly person, if you're an ugly man, I like to date attractive men, because at some point a motherfucker's gonna drive you crazy, right? And do you want to look at an ugly face when you're arguing, or at least an attractive one? So if you are ugly, just
I get that logic.
Roll the punches.
I go the other way. I date women who look even more like Jim Brewer than I do. You know, that way, if we ever get in a fight, I'm going to be like, you think I need this? I can fuck women that look less like Jim Brewer than me, or you combine.
Look like Jim Brewer. She looks a little bit like Marilyn Manson if he was no, just kidding.
Yeah, no, not her specifically. I'm talking about the women on the side, okay? Because, like, the women who look more like Jim Brewer than me, I can keep them from telling my current fiance anything. I can be like, listen, I'm not going to put up with this from somebody who looks like you or who looks like me. How dare you, you know? They keep quiet. I will do like Tiger Woods' girlfriend did in that documentary. I will put her on the phone to tell my fiance nothing is going on. And that bridge troll will be like, nothing's happening, I swear.
That was such a good scene.
So my husband is incredibly handsome, and he actually, you know, I'm like, you are the most handsome man. Like, I love you. You're so hot. You're so gorgeous. And he's like, what if I get hideously disfigured? You know, will you still matter that she's with your ugly ass? It means she really likes you.
Yeah.
You ever seen Beauty and the Beast? What if I transform in the opposite order? I turn into a beast at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
You know what, Meg? I used to date a loser who was very attractive, and sometimes he would ask me, what would you still be with me if I gained a lot of weight? Which it's like, that would take years, and we don't have that long. But I was like, he would ask me all the time. And I just wanted to be like, the thing is, if you got fat, it wouldn't be like, it'd be because you're lazy. That's my problem with him. Like, he was lazy. It's like, you wouldn't take the steps to get your abs back. you would just be lazy and let yourself go. And that's the problem. Someone who's just naturally fat, I'm like, you would get fat because you're lazy, not because of a metabolism issue or medicine and whatever. So I wouldn't be with you because of your laziness, not because of you would look physically. But he would ask that all the time. And I'd be like, I gotta go tell jokes in the bar. I can't do this shit.
Yeah.
I will see you later, and he will bang me and make me eggs, and then I'll go to sleep. Okay.
Bang me and make me eggs. That's the greatest Hallmark card ever. I got one of those from my girlfriend when we first started dating. I was like, this is sweet. I could do this.
But see, here's honestly what creeps me out the most about the question is that now he knows what she really thinks of him. And personally, I am way too much of a snowflake. Like, if I knew what my boyfriend's mother really thought of me, I don't think I'd be able to handle it. I think we'd just have to end the relationship because I don't have enough self-confidence to still go over there on Thanksgiving and be like, hi, I know you think I'm a psychopath. Here's a pie. Like, I can't.
But Suzanne, you're pretty. Don't worry about it.
I just hide my crazy. But it's like, I wouldn't, like, my self-esteem wouldn't be able to get over that. Like, or, is that, I mean, so do you think, so maybe that's why he wants to bring it up with his girlfriend to talk it out, to then ask, but you don't think I'm really ugly, do you? Like,
shit, that's a mess.
Yeah, it's definitely a mess. Or do you think that, what do we think the girlfriend thinks? She kind of has to like him a little bit.
He's got to fucking love him to be with his ugly ass. Like I said, it is the biggest compliment if you know you're not good looking in someone's eyes, but they're still with you. Like, they fucking love you.
Yeah,
I couldn't deal with it.
See, I can't handle it. One time I dated a guy who was like super hot. Like, I was like so attracted to him. He was like so much better looking, like, than me and stuff. And I could not handle it. Like, I have to be with someone who's either my level or a little less, because then because otherwise I'm just like too self-conscious. Like, I can't, like fart in front of them or like change my panty liner. Like, it's
pretty women hate when I fart and wear panty liners. That's true. That's true. It's a fucking nightmare to deal with.
I usually date up. Actually, I've had the inverse happen. When my mom met my Cuban ex, she said, "Oh, he's handsome," and that hurt more than if she was. I was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck, lady? Like, what did you thought I was dating an ugly and poor man? Like, come on. First, he's good looking." And that happened a lot with that guy. People would say that a lot. They're like, "He's really good looking." I'm like, "Yeah, I date up. I don't date up."
Yeah, like, it's
dumb, but they look good.
It's not the acknowledgement. It's just the shock. It's not like a good looking guy. It's like that's a good looking guy. How the fuck? Yeah, that's a little shitty.
But was the reaction more towards who you dated in the past? Like, compared to the guys that you dated before the Cuban guy, maybe they were like, oh, that's not her normal type, because her normal type is hairy Greek. Like,
no, they don't know none of these people didn't know I usually keep men. I'm a fuckboy by nature. So usually, nobody sees me in public with most men, period. So they don't know what my type is. That's why I was just like, well, why wouldn't, yeah, he's gonna be looking. I will say, when I met his dad said this was in Cuba, right? We're in like the hills. His dad said, "Oh, Fidel," that was my ex. He was like, "Oh, your girlfriend's just like my girlfriend. She's in her 30s, she's black, and she's fat." And I was like, "That's all you got?" That's a lot of us.
What the fuck?
A lot of us, motherfucker. Come on, you gotta do better than that. Yeah, get more specific.
Who was this that said that? That was your boyfriend's family member that said that?
That was my boyfriend's dad. Yeah, said that.
Wow.
Two for both of us.
Dude, you know what? We gotta hook your ex-boyfriend's dad up with this lady's girlfriend or this guy's girlfriend's mom. We gotta get them together and be like, listen, you two could fuck like rabbits and then talk shit about your kid's significant other. It would be great. Pillow talk. Just pillow roasting of each other's offspring's mates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listen, so my final advice to this dude is, listen, it's just leave it. The damage has already been done. You trying to uncover it and get some sort of fake, like, oh no, you're really good looking. Just relish in the fact that you are in a relationship where you're clearly punching above your weight, and just be happy with
Yeah,
it.
you've outpunched your coverage, sir. As a goofy looking fuck who drinks way too much and does not work out nearly as much as I should, you're living the dream, buddy. It's better sleeping with women that look better than you. It's fun. And you're a real pussy's half empty kind of guy. You know what I mean? But it's not good.
Yeah. Well, perfect. I think we answered that question. Should we do a commercial break?
Yes, absolutely. Let's hear from our somewhat sort of sponsors. People, are you ugly, but you're still trying to impress your girlfriend's mother anyway, but she's kind of a, K-U-N-T cunt? Then get her a bottle of nice Italiana wine called Baron Montalto. Baron Montalto. It is a delicious Pinot Grigio with hints of peaches. Bold, balanced, with a crisp finish. The official wine of ugly dudes who are kind of insecure about it, but still pretty good guys, you know? The dick's good, hopefully. Otherwise, well, she has nothing redeeming to tell her mother, does she? You can only get her a bottle of Borno Montalto. Get you some. All right. Next question on the Love Gurus podcast. We are taking one more from the Wild Maniacs on Yahoo Answers. If you have any questions to write in, write them to the Love Gurus podcast at yahoo.com. Next one from the Savages Online.
Next question. Upset at my girlfriend's job. Am I being immature? So we both work at this restaurant since we were both teenagers. At age 21, I was made assistant manager. By age 23, I was the number 2 at the store. I was just about to graduate college too. My girlfriend was also assistant manager at the time. Things were okay, but
very much small town dreams here. That's what I'm hearing right off the bat.
The owners were verbally abusive, and they let the store manager take our tips whenever she wanted to, just because she was sleeping with one of the owners. I spoke up about this, and it didn't go anywhere. So
I'm not sleeping my way to the top of the corporate ladder. I'm sleeping my way to the server's tips underneath me. Wow.
So I went to the BBB. I don't know what the BBEB is, but I'll assume it's some sort of like workplace abuse hotline, whatever. Okay. I went and reported this. Somehow the owners found out that I reported it, and I was fired. I was demoted and went back to, so he wasn't fired. He was demoted and went back to a lower pay. So I quit and got a job in an office as a clerk for $10 an hour. My girlfriend was so pissed, and she wanted to quit the restaurant as well. But after talking about it, we needed the money that she was making, so she decided to stay. Months later, she says she's finding a job and apologized, but she's never changed jobs. Now she's still working at the place, and I'm mad at her that she hasn't quit yet. Should I be upset about my girlfriend's job, or am I being immature? So, I mean, this is obviously not a healthy workplace relationship, and there's a lot of there's a lot of dipping the ink in the company or pen in the company ink, et cetera, et cetera. So he reported something that does sound kind of bad. It sounds kind of bad when one person is stealing tips and doing it because she's begging the owner.
Yeah, wow.
Also,
there's like multiple workplace infractions going on.
But also like boss move. Am I right? Someone gets tips at a $10 an hour job, and you're like, I'll have that. I sucked his dick this morning.
Yeah, wow. It's so funny because it's not a lady who's going, man, he used his power, his position of power to try to get sex from me. She like straight up Cruella de Vil it. She was like, yeah, I fucked the boss, and then I stole people's tips and bought a Dalmatian jacket with it. Fuck you.
Yes. Yeah. So that's bad, of course. So he reports it. He then gets demoted or gets like a reduction in pay for reporting it. quits his job.
What a useless sack of shit that hotline is, huh? It's like, oh yeah, well, yeah, don't worry, we'll deal with it. We'll make a few phone calls. Let us know how it goes in a week.
So he quits the job, finds a different job. He wants his girlfriend to quit and protest as well, to stand up against the system. She just doesn't. She's like, listen, I'm kind of making good money. Like, things are fine for me. So now he's mad at his girlfriend because she won't quit and find another job, and she's just stayed there for months. So there's definitely something immature about, if you're going to make a stand about something, don't assume people will follow you, because that is not, so to you, like, you throw down your apron and storm out the door. Like, Stormo with 3 kids is not following you.
Who's coming with me, man?
Yeah. He
Not
did the Jerry Maguire speech, and not significant other fucking went with him. Oh my God. What a loser.
So
He deserves to have his tip stolen. That's what I think. This guy sucks.
I think that, he should just watch the Jerry Maguire movie. Like, that's great advice, and be like, listen, not everyone's going to follow you. Also, it's, I just feel like he only wants his girlfriend to quit as like revenge against the owners. Like, like, have you ever missed a flight? Like, one time my friend missed a flight, and she was like, oh, like, and the airlines were just like, sorry, you have to buy another flight. And she goes, well, if you don't rebook me on a flight, none of my friends and family are ever flying this airline again. And the airline was like,
oh no, madam. Whatever will all of Delta Airlines do?
American Airlines was fine with that threat.
I think we're overlooking something. As my hero, Dr. Phil, says, no matter how flat you make a pancake, it still has 2 sides.
Interesting.
This is the story from the guy who quit the job. And I have a huge
Dr. Phil giving pancake metaphor. If there's one thing I know about, it is relationships and carbs. Yeah, that fucking guy.
It's true. He's right. But like, this guy he's work shaming his girlfriend, which nothing makes me more mad than a man work shaming his girlfriend. Like, first of all, we're allowed to work, and we're allowed to work where we want to work. My God, wait.
I love that you're making a whole apartment. If she wants to have her tip stolen at the Olive Garden, then she should get to have her tip stolen at the Olive Garden.
Yes.
Well,
It's not up to him.
The thing that's interesting is that he mentioned how much he makes and not how much she makes. So I feel like he's not making as much as she is, and that's part of the problem.
That's a good point.
That's a good
point. We do mention at least once a week on this podcast that we err against the people writing the questions because A, most of them are terrible, and B, it's like they're pro-them propaganda. It's their Fox News, their MSNBC, their North Korean state-run news if they happen to be the little fella running the place. So when they leave shit out that seems very important, you got to think like, oh, there's a reason that they left that out.
Because my thought is, wait a second, like, do they live together? Are their finances combined? And then she doesn't want to leave because he's only making $10. Like, what was this question from this year?
Yeah, this is a recent question.
Oh wait, this is 1908. It turns out this guy's killing it. He's got a down payment on a mortgage next week.
I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility of Bernie Sanders creating this question to go on the Love Gurus podcast in a former vie to get the $50 an hour.
Damn it! 1% of the whorish assistant managers at this Denny's are stealing 99% of the tips. It's not right.
Jake, you have a lot of voices and impressions in you, and I am impressed. I don't know if you guys discussed it beforehand, but it's just, you gotta be like, it's impressive.
I
say that, impersonations are like muffins. You can't have too many. I like muffins and voices.
I can only picture a man's muffin top when you use that voice. So
Can I just say this?
It's not about the muffin top. It's what's underneath the muffin top that matters.
Can Can I just say this about men and jobs? This is a little bit of an aside, because I am a woman who, like most of us, work, and it's amazing to me how you can tell a man you're working and he still bothers you. So I feel like men. Someone told me they were like a woman. Actually, two men told me this within a week. That a man will never respect a woman's job because he'll never be impressed by what a woman does. One of those guys was a waiter, and then the other one was ugly, so I didn't listen to what he was saying anyway. But I just feel like there is this weird tension between like women, especially women who are successful. I'm not saying she's successful. She might work at a Bennigan's, but I just feel like the tension is more like financially based, and like ego based than like what it sounds like they got nothing going on. Who gets $10 an hour? She gotta leave that job. Like she's gotta let her work.
Yeah, no, I think that you hit the nail on the head. And then because also you speak to my heart, because so since we're working from home, what irritates me to no end is I will be, so if my boyfriend's working and I go into the room to like say something to him, he'll be like, what? And he'll get really annoyed, because I interrupted him. But I will be working and in the middle of something, and he just expects me to drop everything and listen to him, and
oh yes,
about how he's gonna take the chicken out for dinner. Like, shut up! Like, I am also busy. I'm not saying I'm busy all the time, but sometimes I am doing something, and what you have to say can wait. So, like, what you absolutely nailed the dynamic there with that.
Both me and my fiance have an agreement that if one of us interrupts the other one while we're working from home, we have the right to domestically abuse that person, and we have weapons on us to where like weight and height is not a thing. Like that doesn't matter when there's tasers and hammers involved. She can still get on the inside and do a lot of damage with tasers and hammers.
Yeah,
I have a work face that I put on whenever I'm doing math. And like I can multitask. We all can, right? We have to, because men are incessantly talking at us while we're trying to do shit. I cannot multitask and do math. And so he will come down the stairs and see me and he'll be like, are you doing math right now? And I'm like, yeah! And he leaves. So,
math for him. That's a man to stay with.
Yeah, you have resting angry algebra face, and that's what's going on.
I'll literally tell the man that I'm working and he'll still be like, send me a picture of your tits. I'm like, I'm busy. I just said that I'm busy. I used to accommodate. And now I'm like, no, that is enough. That's enough of that. Last week I was working at a cafe and this old retired guy, there were two of them, and they both saw that I was working. I mean, it wasn't like Kermit on the typewriter going at it, but I was clearly working. And they both started talking to me. And one of them goes, when you retire, you don't have to do that anymore. And I said, yes, I know how retirement works. Now let me get back to work.
Now that I'm done working at a hedge fund for 20 years, I get to finally pursue my dream of taking orders from you fuck.
Well, that's what I wanted to say. Retirement must be pretty boring if an old white Texan man is talking to me. I mean, we don't... You're telling me we would be having a conversation normally? No, you seem bored, sir. You seem pretty fucking bored.
I learned something the other day that right before COVID hit, for the first time in American history, more women were employed in the workplace than men. Now we have slipped back to like 1980 numbers since all the momming had to happen.
Yeah.
But
to be fair, half the women I know are on OnlyFans right now. So let's be honest about those numbers. We can't do the OnlyFans thing.
It's not on paper. So.
Yeah, but that's the thing is we can't do the OnlyFans thing unless we got six packs and we look like a young hot Brad Pitt. I know hideous women who are on OnlyFans. I mean, women who look like they should be at the front of a bridge asking people fucking riddles, but they're taking their clothes off for money on OnlyFans. So there's other avenues. Is what I'm saying.
That's your fault. Someone's supporting them. That's.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I know where the demand is coming from. I personally am paying for 3 OnlyFans each month of women that disgust me. I mean, I find them physically repulsive, but for some reason, I'm subscribing for $10 a month. I can't help it.
It's how they let you into their lives that's alluring.
Dude, it's fucking penis Tourette's. So many of us have penis Tourette's. We just she's ugly. She looks disgusting. But I gotta pay her and jack off. I don't know.
You say penis Tourette's, I imagine Tetris pieces shooting out of his dick. Like, is that what penis
Tetris penis?
Tetris penis.
Oh, penis Tetris?
Yeah, like that's where the pieces come from. Okay.
Yeah, I had a lady call my penis Tetris once because it's crooked, and I was like, "That's very offensive. That's even worse than the time your mother called me ugly. Don't tell her I got a Tetris stick."
Amazing. I think did we answer the question? I think so. I agree with the consensus that there's some sort of financial tension because she makes more than him and he's butthurt because she didn't throw down her apron and walk out to the grocery clerk store with him. So,
yeah, dude, it's you got to have a little more hustle if you're going to fucking try to guilt your girlfriend out of keeping her job when her job fucking sucks and it's a mostly tip-based job where the tips are getting stolen. Do you realize how shitty of a fucking job that is? It's not like she's on Wall Street, dude. She's being robbed at a fucking Olive Garden, but she is still like, but I'm not doing what that loser's doing over there. So like, I mean, yeah, look, men are shallow when it comes to looks. Women are shallow when it comes to money for the most part. That's usually how it goes, right? Dude, you cannot talk shit if your girlfriend is like, I would rather be doing this than doing what he's doing. You have to do something that's not even good, just only 3/4 of the way shitty. Do you understand how shitty both of your fucking jobs are? And yours is somehow even worse than hers because she's not leaving. And none of those fucks are. None of them are. So it's like, dude, there's nothing else going on in your town. Move out of Flint, Michigan, and fucking just I don't know, do something online, man.
Yeah, this guy's got a future. I can smell it.
Get an OnlyFans, sir. Work on your abs and get an OnlyFans. That's the economy left in this country.
Well, perfect. Well, I think we answered that question. Let's do one more?
Yes, absolutely. Last question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, write your questions into us at loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. In the meantime, we're going to take one more from the Wild Psychopaths on Yahoo Answers.
Okay, so for this last question, it's going to be a little bit.
The fucking music is so weird. We got flagged for playing shit off Spotify, so the only thing is I don't have a way of listening ahead to the music to see what it's gonna be next. I just gotta let you know.
I like the music. I was laughing. I just can't imagine turning to Yahoo Answers for an answer. It's hilarious. Like, these people don't have friends. Like,
dude, that's why they fucking say nutty shit. Like, can you believe she doesn't want to come work for $10 an hour with no tips at the Cracker Barrel with me? What the hell's wrong with her?
Yeah. Oh man. All she goes home at night is like a few of those warm bottles of maple syrup. No tips, man. It's rough. Not helpful. Okay. So for this last question, we're gonna do. This is a little bit of a different. It's gonna be a little bit of a different format. So I'm gonna give you guys the situation. Then, so what you have the ability to do in Yahoo Answers is to send updates. So this woman has updated. So we know how it ends. We know how it ends, okay? But it'll be a fun game where you guys get to guess how it ends. Okay.
Oh shit. We did have a no shit professional psychic on the show once. This would have been a good one to have Deb on. Would have been a good one
for Deb, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
We would have get to fucking test it in real time. Yeah, you know what I mean? Not like hey, am I more like a Libra or a fucking water sign or a goddamn Kentals? What's the shit that you use to light fires with?
Wood?
Matches?
Wood sign. Yeah. Kindling. I was trying to say kindling sign, but I was too drunk to go with a good reference. That shitty failure of reference was brought to you by Baronana Matalano Pinot Grigio. Oh, I just broke this glass.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah. I'm good. But,
that was also, you could hear the glass.
It's a nice glass.
Well.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, I went to go set it down, and I set it down right on top of this thing. I'm messing with how I set up for the podcast, and this is like a totally different
Oh yeah. That's gonna hurt your voice.
That's gonna be on a sticky note.
That's some real drama.
Okay.
Anyway, I already hate this woman writing the question because I blame her for my drunken nonsense.
Oh my God! Don't drink out of that glass,
Yeah,
Jay.
be careful.
Oh, the whole thing broke. Oh shit. Okay. I
Okay.
thought only half of it broke, so I could just kind of drink like this. That
Okay,
did not work.
Put the glass down.
There we go.
Put the glass down. Okay.
Drink out of the bottle.
Okay. Just drink
That'll
out of the
sober
bottle.
you up. Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Now that our health and safety inspector is back on track.
There we go.
Okay. Okay. So here's
This podcast isn't regulated by OSHA, dude. We can fucking drink out of broken glasses. It's fine.
Okay. So here's the question. Boyfriend won't let me meet his kids. So she says, okay. So this is a lot. We've been together for a year and we share a child of our own together. I have yet to be to his home and I have his address only because it was on the birth certificate of our child together. I've not met his family and he keeps me isolated. I can understand if we didn't share a child together, that this is not a relationship, but part of me feels like he's living a double life, and part of me feels like he doesn't want our son to share a
Amy's
life.
cleaning up the glass. That's a good fiance.
Thank
She's
you.
got my back. She doesn't judge me. You know what I mean? She doesn't make fun of my looks. Doesn't make fun of, you know,
Yeah.
this whole situation. Anyway, go ahead.
He's an idiot.
Part of me feels like he doesn't want our son to share a life with his siblings. I'm on the edge and I don't know what to do. I try to communicate with him and he lacks communication. Then he'll be over my house for 5 days straight. So I don't think he's cheating. He's mad that I won't let his mother or his family in because the baby is new and it's in the time of Corona. So but he still gets mad at me for that. Keep in mind that my son hasn't met my family yet either. We got pregnant just by messing around, but then we fell in love and I asked for his address for the whole 9 months of pregnancy, but he refused to tell me, and his mother came to my house to meet her grandson. He refused to let her in and he refused to let her say anything else about our relationship. Okay. So what do we think is really going on? So let me just recap because it was a lot. So there's a woman, she's dating a man. They have only been dating a year, yet they have a 1 month baby. So that's like getting pregnant 2 months into the relationship, right? Is my math face good? Okay. So the entire time that they've been together for the year, has never let her, the only reason why she has his address is because it was on the birth certificate of their baby. So now, what is really going on? Okay, we'll just go around the table and guess. Meg, do you want to start? What's your guess?
Yes, he is cheating on her. He is starting multiple family franchises across.
He's the Burger King of Tennessee.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah, it's like Michael Jackson's dad wanted to have a band. This guy wants a whole goddamn baseball team.
Yeah. He might as well be selling his sperm on Instagram, which they do now. They're like, I got 32 kids and 9 on the way. That's this guy.
But don't you think
That's like an Amish guy with Instagram account. You want to know how fertile these loins are? Look at all these youngins.
But wouldn't you, let's say you had one on the way, wouldn't you kind of like at least like use condoms like until, like only one in the oven at a time? Or do you guys not care?
What?
No, I think you guys want to spread that.
Okay.
I was listening to Rogan once and he was talking about some ultimate fighter from like somewhere in South America where I mean it was like a small village in South America where I don't remember what country it's from, but like no one really makes it big out of there because I mean it's a small rural village. And so this fucking guy got like the whole village pregnant pretty much to the point to where he had 2 different kids from 2 different women born on the same day.
Wow.
Yeah, like down the street from each other, like on the same block.
Wow.
You know his name? by any
I
chance?
wish I could remember his name. No, I now I got to Google
You
it.
know his name. Can I look him up? Okay.
That loser guy, he had the guy who was like, what if I get fat? He had 2 babies that were 3 months apart.
Oh shit. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's how I knew. I'm like, you are never gonna really date this person. They are a mess.
Yeah. So Christiana, what do you think is really going on in this situation?
Oh, I mean, first of all, condoms. How do you fuck? I mean, I fuck men and not know their address, but I don't have any tubes, so there's no risk of getting pregnant. This is some real telenovela shit. It's pretty sad, shocking, intriguing. Clearly he has something else going on, at least. And if he's staying at her place for like 5 days, he's probably arguing with the other, if not others, that are in his life. He's fucking being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
There's no romantic, like, oh, it turns out that he was building me a dream home. It all makes sense now.
Oh my god, shut up. It's like
fucking around on you. He doesn't give a fuck about you or the baby.
Oh my
god.
God.
The kid he was talking about was actually our future children that he was gonna do amazing things for. Yeah.
But I love the idea that like all of a sudden he's like, babe, I've got to blindfold you, and like Chip and Joanna pop out, and it's like this brand new house that he has built for her. I was being shady because I did this amazing thing for you.
Why hasn't she gone to his house? I would have burned it down by now. I would have been like, oh,
he doesn't know where she doesn't know where to go.
Burn my house down.
Yeah. Who is it? Is it?
Yeah, this is an angry Carrie Underwood song in the making right here.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, Jake, what do you think is really going on in this situation?
Now, she hasn't been in the house. He's mentioned that he had a kid, but she hasn't seen it, right?
Correct.
Now, that to me is a little odd because here's the thing. Like, my original thought was, well, the obvious one is this guy has another family and she's the side piece that he's lying to about being a side piece, right? That to me is the obvious one. But here's the thing, and hopefully my fiance is not listening, right? But if I ever decide to step out on my future family, which I will not do, baby, who helps me clean up when I fucking break glasses of wine. Anyway, should that ever, hypothetically, if I ever to just, made it big and decided to just Tiger Woods all over the goddamn country, here's what I'm doing with my hypothetical, not real side pieces that aren't side pieces. I'm what? Not telling them I have a kid. Yeah, I'm just going to be like, oh, where am I at from the hours of this to this? I'm undercover. I'm busting meth dealers and pedophiles and neo-Nazis and all that shit. Yeah. And I don't want you around my meth dealing neo-Nazi pedophile, guys that I'm busting, because they're going to know who you are, and I can't do that, right? So I'm going to make up crazy James Bond type lies to why I'm not around. So I think that this guy is fucking crazy and made up that he has a baby because some friend of his in like a shitty early 2000s Will Ferrell comedy. Like Will Ferrell was like, you know what chicks love, bro? Dudes with babies. Women love babies. Just show babies look the same, bro. I'm telling you, you can baby crash it. Just baby crash. Show her a picture of the baby. Tell her you got a baby. And then he's getting laid and he's like, I don't know, man. I've been fucking her for 3 months now. I don't know what to do now. She's like, where's this baby? He's like, oh, I never made it that far. And now he's got to keep lying. And that's what I think is going on here.
Okay, so now that everyone has given his or her guess on what's going on, this is the update that she posted after she wrote the question. Update. I went to his house. I found his address. He was living with a woman and they had a 5-month-old.
Oh, it was the obvious one. Son of a bitch. I was so hoping it was going to be a Will Ferrell movie. God damn it.
She says, keep in mind, we have a 1-year-old baby together. So yes, 2 buns in the oven at the same time.
Oh, they have a baby together too.
Yeah.
So smell that shit. I knew it.
She went to the house, the address that was on the birth certificate, found out that he was living with another woman. Her baby with him is 1 month old. his other baby with the other woman is 5 months old. I mean,
Wow.
what cute play dates are they gonna have?
Yeah.
Right?
It's going to be weird. They should
Well,
start a
no, I mean,
podcast together where they just talk shit about their dad.
Here's how I knew this, because my husband's father started franchises, and we found out 2 weeks ago he has
What?
a 60-year-old sister that none of us knew about. Thank you, Ancestry.com, now a sponsor of this podcast.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there might be more out there, but literally another one found him like by putting an ad in the newspaper at age 12, like, "Are you my dad?" And his wife at the time was like, "This kid looks a lot like you." So I know this shit, and it happens. You got to watch out for those guys. Know their address, check their house.
That
I've
That's
had
crazy,
a lot of
man.
men lie to me, so that's why I know.
Yeah.
you never but here's it. You obviously can never be sure based on the stories that we have just heard. So should you ever care?
I like the idea. What's up?
No, I was just gonna say, I mean, there's something refreshing about you just don't care. Whatever. I'm good. I have my house here. You have 8 children. I am not financially responsible for any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't let him knock you up too.
That's true. I wouldn't have let him knock me up, I guess. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because didn't she say that she knew he had a kid but hadn't met the kid or something weird like
Right. So he told her that he had a child, but obviously she couldn't meet the child when the child was still baking in the other woman's belly. That's
He probably has another kid too.
Oh, maybe there's more. There's maybe more. I don't know.
Wow. He's like, listen, I got what? 4 families. Yeah, that's 1 main family, 1 semi-main family, and 2 side families. What am I going to do with the side families? Sort of tell them about the other side family.
Oh my God,
yeah, I pit the 2 side families against each other, and the ones I really love, they're safe from all of my bullshit. I like that.
I hooked up with a guy, and then he didn't last very long, so I cursed him out multiple times. I was like, bruh. But then on WhatsApp one day, I saw that he posted a picture of a baby, and it said like 3 months old. And I was like, not only do you have a quick dick, but you also have a baby? Like, are you in a relationship? And he was like, no, that's my nephew. And I was like, who holds their nephew shirtless? Like, that's bonding between father and child. I'm not an idiot.
Pretty sure it's a crime to hold your nephew shirtless, right? Or at least it should be.
Yeah, I was like, that's your child. Then he lied. He kept lying. I mean, I was already done with it, but then he wrote like, I love my baby boy, like a week later. And I was like, screenshot. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you have a whole ass baby and a wife.
That's the thing about
it was really quick. It's a half-ass baby.
It's the thing about quick dicks, man. That's rapid automatic fire. You know what I mean? They're firing bursts. They're blah, 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 baby.
Can I just here's really my final thought. Can I just say we kind of owe the whole Mormon community a big apology, right? Like some people are like the Mormon community or polygamy or polygamists. It's like they get so much, but kind of everyone's like that. Like a large percentage are. We're like, no to Mormons,
Yeah, but I'll bet there's a lot of Mormon dudes out there with their compound and their 8 wives. And then all 8 of the wives are like, hey, wait a minute. We got on Jebediah's social media. I think there's a 9th wife somewhere that we don't know about. And then they fucking go find it. And they're banging on her door like Karen and Goodfellas. Just, is that whore Janice in there? All 8 of Henry's wives mean business. And then just like this lady, Janice opens the door and there's 4 other Janices and they're like, our children are sleeping. What the hell are you 8 whores doing out here? And then, Henry's in there with a total of 17 wives. It's crazy.
I would watch that reality series.
There'll never be enough for men, never be enough. I think that's Jake's point.
Yeah.
Me neither, actually.
But that's what makes it fun to be a man. Oh, I want to see that Netflix series, The Sex Addicted Mormon Fella. It's going to be the greatest series ever made on Netflix.
So fresh too. Like what a hot take.
Uh-huh.
So fresh.
It turns out he was flying to Saudi Arabia, where you can have 4 more wives. He'd have his 8 wives on a compound in Utah, 4 more wives in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, if you're
Going
Mormon
fucking
and
crazy.
Muslim, bonus.
Yeah, and he'd have to fly to Vegas on the weekends to cheat on all 12 of them. That crazy bastard.
Oh,
Wow,
talk
that's
about time
nuts.
management skills, though. Am I right?
Uh-huh.
Keeping things in place.
But they all stayed with him in the end, because why? The dick was good. Yes,
Was good.
they stayed on the compound for that dick.
Or the free rent, one or the other.
Yeah. One of the, well, perfect. Well, I think we answered that question. I think we answered all the questions really well this week. We helped a lot of souls, because men be fucking.
Absolutely. Men be fucking. And you guys need to be checking out Meg Mark and Christiana Jackson on social media.
Yeah.
Because you need to listen to Christiana's podcast, Stout Lusty Wench. Definitely see Meg and Christiana live when you can do that, when the bug is not killing everybody who tries to laugh at dick jokes in person. That would be nice. You know what I mean? See everybody live. Do that. This has been a fun episode. Thank you to Meg and Christiana.
Yeah.
Thank you to the listeners for listening. Write us at loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. Until next week, later. And boom. All right. Good to go. You guys are fucking awesome, man. This is a fun episode.
Fun. Oh,
That
I
was a
think
lot
it's
of
still on
fun.
YouTube.
Oh shit, really? I thought I just stopped the other